I do things on the one, and drummers do things on the one hand, and so I have everybody play a certain way when they go 1, 2 people, 1, 2 people, 1, 2 people, like that. So I say, forget what you know, and I'm going to teach you. And I would teach the drummer, I would teach the bass player, I teach the keyboard, I teach the guitar, anything, the way I want. And that way, when we all strike at the same time on the 1, 2 people, 1, 2 people, 1, 2 people, it sounds like 10 people, even with 3 people. So now, as the years went on, they say, I see people in a restaurant, and they start talking about so-and-so, and they goes, oh, you playing? He says, yeah. He says, oh, what's the name of your group? And I go, well, my name is Dick Dale. And they say, Dick who? And then I go, well, you remember Dick Dale and the Deltones? Oh, the Deltones, yeah. See how tattooed and printed in your brain?
Yeah.
The last words that came out of the announcer struck them. So I don't advertise like I'm doing it for now. You know, I played to 490,000 people in Berlin in one setting. It was like Woodstock.
Yeah.
And it's Dick Dale, but a lot of them, they want to put the tag on.
That's Deltone Rock. Dick Dale and the Deltones from the B-side of the Let's Go Trippin' single in 1961. Dick Dale is our guest, and there's one thing he knows about. It's responding to an audience. Here's Dick Dale.
And that's why I say you don't go up there and play things that you think the audience should like. You play something that you know that they can relate to. And then they'll say, God, I was in the back seat of my car with my girlfriend when that song was being played.
Yeah.
You know, something like you know, and people want to relate to something.
Sure.
And like in Las Vegas, when I worked with Vegas, Reno, and Tahoe for 20 years, I'd be at the Golden Nugget, and I'd be getting ready to go on stage, and I would go to some people sitting in the front row, and I go, hey, you guys gonna watch the show tonight? And they don't know it's me, because I'm just dressed normal. And they go, oh yeah, we're gonna see this guy, you know, and I goes, you come all the time? He go, oh yeah, we come every year. My wife and I, we're from Canada, and we get here every year. And then, oh great, well, you guys enjoy the show. Now the curtain opens and I come out playing. and I'm doing a song like "Won't You Come Home, Bill Bailey," you know, and I do it on my trumpet and my concertina, and the guy starts pointing at us. Oh, we were just talking to that guy. And then I'll say, now what I'll do is I'll smile at him, and I'll finish the song, and I'll go, we got some people that get down from Canada. They come every year, and you make them feel good, and you're by telling this to the audience. And I asked them, I said, you got any favorite songs of Canada? When I was first talking to them, they go, oh, yeah, Anne Murray, Beneath the Snowy Mountain Ride, or whatever it is. And I say, oh, yeah, she's great. Then I'll say, I'll dedicate the song to them, him and his wife, and I'll start singing it and playing it. And I used to have what they call a fake book with all the songs that people, I said, bring me the words and I'll do it tomorrow night, because I'd be there for a solid week for a month at a time. So the critics used to say, Dick Dale's back in town with this fake book, things like that. and so I sing the song for them, and now they start elbowing people next to them saying, we were talking to him. Oh, yeah, we were. And before you know it, everybody's, smiling, because my dad used to say to me, come on, smile up there. You're looking like a damn farmer. I say, Dad, you forget. We were farmers. Grandpa came from Poland, for Christ's sake, and he taught me how to plow with a blade, and I used to eat potatoes out of the ground.
Yeah.
and he goes, oh, you got to smile. And I just could not smile because it was either I couldn't do it, and it was like fake or something.
Yeah.
So I learned to communicate with the people before I got on stage. So then when I look down at them, I can naturally smile.
Yeah.
And then when I make mistakes or anything like that, I'll point it out to them, because I cover it up. I go, you know what? I just made a mistake, and I did this instead of this, And the people really like you because you're not ashamed to admit that you're human like they are.
Yeah, exactly. And they can definitely relate to you, which is really cool.
Yes, and that's the reason why I talk about the illnesses on the stage. And I say, I said, now, if you see me kind of looking around, it's because I went through this, I went through that. And I go, how many people have gone through that? And man, you can't believe how many people going, yay, and clapping and everything like that. And then when I tell them about trying to remember something and whatever, and they just laugh like hell.
Yeah. Because
you can make people laugh by associating the same very things that they go through. You don't have to be dirty on stage. You don't have to be doing any of these things. You can just associate what's happened to you, and it's the same thing maybe happened to them just before they got there.
Yeah.
And so I tell them that. And then I also tell them the story. I say, just before I opened up, some of the guys that were playing before, and a couple of the new bands, and they haven't been doing it like 100 years like me, and everybody laughs. And then I'll say, when I came into the dressing room, they said, Dick, don't go on stage. Oh, that audience is hard. Oh, they're cold. Oh, they're this. Oh, don't get on that stage. I said, are you kidding? Let me tell you something. Those people out there, you're going to learn when you play here a lot, or any place, that's in a casino. Those people lost just about everything they came in with. And they're sitting in there having a drink, trying to cover up their woes. I said, how many people out there just lost a whole bunch today? And they're going,
yeah,
and everything. And so, I touched on the subject that they came in there for. They came in because they were so upset.
Yeah.
And they want somebody to cheer them up. And so it's up to us, guys, to understand that and cheer them up and forget about what they've been losing. And they go, just to hear the ring-a-ding-ding. And now when I say losing, you don't finish with that word. You say what they just got through losing because they wanted to hear the ring-a-ding-ding or the little thing spin around and everybody laughs.
Yeah.
And so, and that's right, like so. And that's what I'm going to try to do, and I hope you like some of the stuff that I do for you. And you can yell out a song if you wish or whatever.
Well, people, you definitely have found a way to endear yourself to an audience where they can relate.
Yeah, because it's truth. That's the word. It's called realness and true. It's not fake.
Yeah.
That's what I hated. I hated a fake smile and a fake statement. Like everybody would go, "Is everybody happy?" It's done like an auctioneer. And the thing is that I'd say, hey, you guys having a good time so far? Like that. Because if you're not, I am.
Yeah, that's right.
I just slam them back.
Yeah. Oh,
and that makes them laugh.
Yeah.
I got a real boss, car makes all the others look sick. It's a brand new
Gears and Gals magazine began with a simple goal: to put out the hot rod magazine they wanted to read. Gears and Gals Hot Rod and Pinup magazine features exactly what you would expect: pinup girls, artist profiles, events coverage, builder profile, and of course traditional and custom hot rods. It's also printed in the USA on the best quality paper and inks available. Find them online at gearsandgals.com. Gears and Gals magazine, the only hot rod and pinup magazine you'll ever need. This is Jammin' James Riley, and we just heard The Scavenger by our guest, Dick Dale. Now, Dick talks about how he used to write a magazine article and how he uses his rock and roll platform to spread a message of hope. Here's Dick Dale.
I used to write a 2-page article for a magazine that used to make fun of show business, and it's Music Confidential. I would write all about going on tour, the things that I would come into being on tour, and saying like what bands should do so the the buyers don't screw them, take advantage of them. And tell them not to sign contracts because of how they give away all their copyrights, all their everything that they could make the money with as they grow older, and it's all taken by the companies. And, you know, when Lana told you that the AP release told her that I had received more awards than anybody in the business, well, they don't like it when I get these awards sometimes because I got to give a speech.
Yeah.
And when I give a speech, I tell the kids what not to do. And that's why I have had major talent agencies refuse to hire me as they give a statement saying, stay away from him, he knows too much about it. So I try to give that with this and have them go on their own road. And with all this stuff going on, you know, it's just so important to let them know and help them, give them this help. And in this magazine, I would talk about say, maybe you should get a room for this and have the hotel or have the vendor buy this and you do this and you don't have to do this. And they'll say, oh, by the way, I went to this fair. And, man, it was unbelievable. And this woman came up, she had a little baby in her arms, and the baby looked like it was just not right. And then she just poured open to me because she knew that I was a good listener to her. And she told me what she was doing while she carried the baby. And she was telling me she was eating the wrong foods, was not exercising, walking up and down the street for exercise, she was taking drugs. And she said, that's her fault. She said, that was my fault. I never realized that would happen to my baby. And now my baby's got to live with this, what she has, what the baby had, with the cleft lip inside, down in her throat, couldn't breathe. And she said, you're going to live with this for the rest of its life, the doctors told me, because I did this. And I said, in my writing, I said, well, I can only give them both a big hug and wish them and say prayers for them and hope everything goes well. And then I left the fair, and I couldn't get it out of my mind as I got on stage that night and I was performing. See, what I did was I went in to give some penicillin of knowledge of something, that somebody was reading it. But then I didn't sound like a preacher. I was saying what I witnessed, and then